playful, colorful, kind of eccentric, not taking yourself too seriously, just youthful and joyful. I really like to embrace the inner child in all of us and have that be something that we can just have stand out in a really bold way. Fashion is always an opportunity to collaborate. It's an opportunity to think about new ways of creating. When starting a collection, I find inspiration in almost anything. Most of the time it is actually in history books, because a lot of my muses do tend to be Black women of color from the 1800s who've been very transformative and changed people's lives. But I also find a lot of inspiration by just being outside. I run, so I'm always just so engaged with like my natural environment, the colors and the shapes that I see. So when I was younger, my mum, she'd always come up with these outfits that she would make herself, and she would get these Berda patterns, cut them up, get fabric from like the African market and make these like really cool two-piece sets. So from a really young age, I just could see that she would create her own style from scratch. And that really did inspire me into creating my own aesthetic and my own style. Almost saying, oh, I feel like looking or feeling like this, let me make it for myself. My journey into design began actually at UCT, where I studied architecture. And after graduating, I moved to London and I worked there for about 2 years. And then I felt this real urge to embrace fashion, because I was always, sort of cheating on architecture with fashion magazines all the time. Architecture does influence our designs in the way that we put things together. I think architecture is really about puzzle pieces. I don't just draw and make something. I like to understand why I'm making it, and I want to dismantle it and then put it together and understand it. So even with our swimwear, it was really important to understand, like, what is the feeling we want to have? What is the expression? And even just dismantle this idea of, like, what is a swimming costume? Keithan, who is a ceramic artist based in Cape Town, is one of my key collaborators.
Let's bring in the next girl.
Next girl. I guess he's like my fashion husband. Myself and Keithan collaborated on a few ceramic pieces for the collection. He came up with some amazing shapes that we were going to add to the garments.
Okay. May we?
It came from trying to create this fusion between art and fashion, and it also feeds into what we're trying to do as a brand, is creating clothing that will last a lifetime, if not longer. A consciousness of consumerism is how I would like to help shape the world. When people are wearing my clothes, I want them to feel light. I want them to feel joyful. I want them to feel gorgeous. And I feel like I also want them to want to cherish that item for the rest of their lives. That's when I know I'm doing a really good job.